Hello students, in this video we see how method overloading and method overriding works inside C#. Now in this program we have already seen what is meant by inheritance, or we already implemented inheritance inside this program, where we have defined one student class, and inside student two data members, roll number, name. Then we declare, or we defined the default constructor, then parameterized constructor. Then we have already seen how parameterized constructor concept works inside inheritance. If I use parameterized constructor in both the classes, means in base class as well as in derived class. Here my derived class is marks, and I am deriving this marks class from the base class student. So how we can pass the arguments to this parameterized constructor? Here we are passing the parameters at the time of instance creation. Means I am creating here s1 object which is of type marks, which is my derived class here, and I am passing the arguments like this. If we see here, first two arguments I am passing for base constructor, and these are my derived data member values. So we have already seen in previous videos. If you don't know what are these concepts, then go through all those videos and then come back to this video for better understanding. Now in my student class there are various functions I have already defining. This is the default constructor, then parameterized constructor, then get data function is here, then display function is here. Now what is meant by method overloading? Method overloading means we can use the same name function. Means I am here I am already defining get data function here. Now if I am defining the same function once again, then this is the concept of method overloading. I am overloading this get data method within the same class, but there is one rule, and what is that rule? If I want to overload the same function number of times, then I need to differentiate the parameter list. Means here I am passing the two arguments. First argument is integer type and second is string type. Then if I want to overload this get data method, then I need to different signatures here. I want to give different signature in the sense, at least you need to give the different number of parameters to overloaded function, or if the number of parameters are same, then at least their data types must be different. Now I can't overload such method with the same signatures here. Means first parameter is again integer and second is a string. Here also first parameter integer and then string. Then we can't overload such method. We need to give the different parameter list here. So if I am using here one argument function, and if I am using here data member value is equal to parameter value, then this is right. Now if I am again defining the same function once again, then this is also the method overloading concept. I am here passing name, and I am assigning the name value. Name is equal to n, in this way. Now in my program inside one student class, I am defining get data method 3 times, but first time I am passing 2 arguments, then second time I am passing only 1 argument, third time I am passing only 1 argument. But what is the difference between this 1 argument definition and this 1 argument definition? Here I am passing integer value, and here I am passing a string value. So if or when we call this get data function or method and passing some integer value, then control goes to this definition. Okay, because I am passing one integer value to get data function. If I am passing one string value while calling this get data function, then my control goes to this definition, because I am passing only one parameter, and that parameter value is of string type. So this definition matches the parameter list, so this definition will be executed. When I am calling the get data method, and if I am passing one integer value as well as string value, then my control goes to this definition, because now parameter list matches with this definition. So compiler calls this method. So there is no any confusion between these three methods. Even we are using the same definition name, same method name, still there is no any confusion, because parameter list is different for all these three methods. Now I can call these get data methods like this is the one way. Then I am passing s1 dot get data, and I am passing only the roll number value. Then s1 dot get data. Now here we see there are three versions of get data method. Here my .NET ID gives me the suggestion whether you can use this type of signatures, or if we press the down arrow, then it gives me the different method signatures. Then these are there are three methods available. Get data three methods available. You can call any one of these three methods, and according to the parameter list you can pass those parameters. Now here I am passing this Ramesh. Now if I call this get data, then my control goes to which definition? Two parameters definition, where there are two parameters. That definition will be executed. This definition will be executed because I am passing two arguments. And in second statement, in this statement, my control goes to which definition? Single parameter but integer type, this definition. And finally this definition will be executed. So this is the concept of method overloading, where we can use the same method name number of times inside one single class. Okay, we can use the same method name, same method named functions number of times, but there is one rule. And what is that rule? We need to give the different parameter list for each method. So here I am giving the different parameters. So this is the concept of method overloading. Here we already seen default constructor and parameterized constructor. Here also method overloading is here, and this method is special. That special method we called as constructor. See here method name is student, again here here method name is student, but this is the without parameter and this is the with parameter. So this is the method overloading concept, and this method is special, so we call as constructor overloading here. So this is the concept behind method overloading. There is no need to get output, but we see what is the output. Here with this statement, parameters goes to respective data members, and my object initialized. First time my object initialized with these values, then I am calling this get data. Again roll number and name values are same. Now then I am after this statement, after this get data, I am calling get data and changing the roll number as 15. So my updated roll number or new roll number is 15. Then s1 dot get data, I am calling once again and passing Ramesh as string for name. Then my name value will be changed from Archana to Ramesh. So my final values of roll number and name are 15 and Ramesh. So I'm see this output. Roll number is 15 and name is Ramesh. Previous values are 12 Archana, but newer values are 15 and Ramesh. And these are the physics, chemistry, maths marks. They are displayed as it is by using this display marks method. So this is the output.